Hello everyone, this is Crypto Hill back again with another video. Today we're going to be discussing the Lux Algo indicator, and throughout this video we're going to be explaining all the different types of indicators that are built into this one indicator and why we believe it is one of the best indicators to use. We're also going to be discussing if we believe that it is worth the money, because this indicator is not free on TradingView. You actually have to purchase this.
Some of the things it comes with, we can just go through them quickly, is this trend catcher, right? So this line, so we're on the 1 hour right now on Bitcoin. We'll switch to the 4 hour just so you can see better. Usually with time frames too, the higher you go, the less signals and the less, like if you go to the 15-minute, you're going to see this trend catcher switching green to red a lot more, right? Like as it's doing here a lot. So it's, you could say more inaccurate, but there's also a lot more signals all the time. There's a lot more of these little X's, which we can go over. But I like using it in the hourly mainly just to see trends in the market. So this trend catcher, basically it's like an EMA level. It's like a adjusting EMA, you can call it. And when it goes above, when it actually breaks over the red and it breaks above it and it stays above it, it'll switch to green, which means that it's a bullish trend and they think that it's going to be trending upwards. And then when it breaks below it, obviously it means it's going to be bearish, and usually it'll follow. When it switches from green to red, it'll follow with a signal to sell. And selling obviously can mean to opening a short position, and these little X's here, so this orange X basically means close your short position or take profits on it. And the blue X that I showed you earlier, like here, is another take profit area. So it's not it's not telling you to sell, but it's saying that, it's not switching trends to bearish, but it's saying take profits from the initial buy signal, and there could be more upwards or there could be downwards movement. Another thing you can see here is that some of these red candles are green and some of the green candles are red, and some are even purple. So the purple ones basically means that it's indecisive and the indicator doesn't know what that candle means, or they're not sure on whether it's bullish or bearish. And then when it's red with green, it means that it's good and it's bullish and it's moving upwards, or it's coming to an upwards movement. And then the opposite for when it's green to red, right? It means that it's a bearish green candle. It's not a good green candle, right? So that's another thing there. And we're just going to fly through them. I'll show you guys after on the website. They actually have a full in detail every single indicator. They have videos and they have descriptions, and it's a lot better job than anybody can do explaining it. But just to see it and visualize it, we'll show you here a little more. And these two things down here, I forget the names of these. One's the Lux oscillator and one's the Lux statistics. And these basically, a lot of people use them together. So they'll use these two together. So if they're moving in the same direction at the same time, some people like using them for opening and closing positions. But when they're kind of doing opposite things, like it does here, right? It's coming down hard with a red line, and this one's kind of staying sideways, right? It doesn't really tell you a lot. But when they both go green and they're both moving upwards, usually it's meaning that it's a strong signal that it's going to be bullish. And then the same for it to go the opposite way, right? When they're both going red and downwards, it means that that it's a strong position that it's going to be bearish, right? And these are basically like momentum squeezes and almost like an RSI here, and it shows you higher highs and lower lows. So that's that. A thing I wish that they had with Lux Algo is if they had like their own VPVR, or like a volume, almost like a VWAP or a VPVR indicator or something like that. But they do have a lot, and you have these EQ zones too, which is almost like a Bollinger Bands, and they kind of predict these like lines that come afterwards, are basically like predicting what's to come, right? So they're dotted lines. So this it ends here because this is the live chart, and then they're predicting that it's going to be, these green waves are going to go upwards. So they're predicting a little bit of a bounce here, and these are kind of staying the same because we're so far away from this red one up here. So these are really good to use too. Kind of tells you can almost use them when to buy and when to sell, right? So when you're really high up, it means that it's really overbought and you should be selling. And when it's really in the green, it usually means that it's really oversold and you should be looking to buy, Now, obviously, it doesn't tell all of the time because, like, positions here, when it touches the green, it went even further, and then it went sideways, right? And then these move. But when they're really separated, you have to take into account for the space in between, right? So the space in between, if it's a really big gap, means that there was a big move, and it's kind of adjusting to that move, and then it gets tighter, and then it's more accurate, right? So when it touches the red here, you should be selling because it's saying it's topping out, and it's really overbought right now.
So the purpose of this video is for us to introduce you to the Algo, excuse me, indicator, and why it is a good indicator. If you were to purchase the indicator, you have access to this site. Now, obviously, within this shorter video, we're not going to be able to, in depth explain everything that is involved with this indicator. But if you were to head to this site, which we'll link in the description if anyone's interested in purchasing this indicator, you can see that there are a lot of different premium indicators. So this site will run you through, your signal modes, your signal settings. So, what you want to set your sensitivity at, what you want to set the buy and sell signals at, just the overview of how to use it, the different types. So you have classic, advanced, normalized, depending on your trading style and what level of trader you are. You can also look through, the volatility indicators, the forecast indicators. These are all things that are hard to cover within a short video, but we just wanted to introduce you to this site because this is the site that we use to teach ourselves when we had first started using the indicator. Now, if we can head back to the chart, I just want to point out one thing here. When you're using this indicator, it's important to know that like not every indicator is 100% accurate all the time, right? How we like to use this is we'll do our own technical analysis. So we'll actually take this indicator off and then we'll say, okay, where are the support, where's the resistance level? You can use your other MACD, RSI, use other ribbons, and then you come to your conclusion. So you say, okay, I think this is the support. Is this a buying level? Is it a selling level? Are you hitting resistance? So you come to your own conclusion, and then you can actually add this indicator on, and it'll give you a clearer picture of your analysis and what may actually be happening. So it's good to use it as almost as like a proof checking of your own work. That's definitely something that we use a lot of times. We like to do our own TA with different indicators that we've made previous videos on, and then we'll actually add this in, and then we'll go from there. So we'll say, okay, do we think then the Lux Algo indicator is accurate here, or it might show us where we're wrong with our TA, and it's honestly a really good indicator to have as a proof check for your own technical analysis.
Yeah, well said. Just the last point on Lux Algo, they have a Discord, which I think if you buy it, you definitely should join. Couple reasons. One, they have their VIP crypto chat, people just talking and sharing charts and sharing ideas. But another one is they update their settings every single day. So depending on the coin you're using in the time frame, they have a 15-minute, 1 hour, 2, 3, and 4 hour settings, right? So if you're using the Bitcoin 1 hour, there's certain settings you should be using for the most accurate signals. And then it's like they have Matic ones, they have Ethereum ones. They don't have every single coin, but they have the most popular ones that they change their settings for. So that's probably the most important reason why you should get in the Discord and make sure you update your settings.
So this is going to conclude today's video on why the Lux Algo trading indicator is a must buy and use for most traders who have even a little bit of experience. And as always, we're trying to get better at making these videos, and we would love to see any suggestions in the comments, whether it's how to improve videos or any coins that you guys would like us to go over. And once again, it's Crypto Hill. This is our video on the Lux Algo indicator, and we hope that everyone enjoyed. See you in the next one.